Before you start this, guys, this is something brand new and this is not anyone else's story, so there won't be any problem with copyrights or anything like that. But the voice won't be mine, but it's just something I'm trying out, guys. I just want you to listen to the story and tell me if you like the story and the direction that it went. I'm just trying something new to explore, a completely wider view, including with different animes and different genre like scary and all sorts of things, guys. Fun, humor, horror, all sorts of things, guys. So just listen and tell me what you think. I'm truly curious to hear your guys' reviews, so yeah, just listen and tell me what you think. So without further ado, let's jump into this new, well, story. A part of it anyway. Naruto will be having the Chaos Blades versus some gods. So yeah, listen up and tell me what you think. Let's just begin right away.
In a world where the boundaries between myth and shinobi blurred, Naruto Uzumaki, the spirited ninja of Konoha, found himself wielding a power unlike any other, the Blades of Chaos, entrusted to him by a figure shrouded in the annals of legend, Kratos. These blades, imbued with the wrath and determination of the Spartan warrior, were Naruto's to command, a testament to his unwavering spirit and his quest for peace in a world torn by conflict. As Naruto trained in the hidden depths of the forest, mastering the fiery might of the blades alongside his own chakra, whispers of a dark resurgence reached his ears. Madara Uchiha, a name synonymous with ambition and power, had returned, threatening to plunge the world into an era of despair. His plan, to cast the infinite Tsukiyomi and trap humanity in an eternal dream, was nearly complete. The air was thick with tension as Naruto, flanked by his comrades, stood at the precipice of destiny. The battlefield was a desolate expanse, where the scars of war were etched into the earth itself. It was here that Naruto confronted Madara, their ideologies clashing with the violence of their powers. Madara, with his Sharingan swirling with ancient hate, against Naruto, whose blades danced with the fury of the gods themselves. The clash was titanic, a spectacle of chakra and wrath, as Naruto's blades of chaos met Madara's Susanoo. Each strike from Naruto was a whirlwind of fire and fury, each block from Madara, a testament to his indomitable will. The world seemed to hold its breath as they fought, a symphony of destruction that tore at the very fabric of reality. But Naruto fought not for glory or for victory, but for the future of all. With every slash of his blades, he carved a path towards peace, his will unbreakable, his spirit undying. And as the battle reached its crescendo, Naruto's resolve shone brightest, his belief in a better world fueling his strength. In the end, it was Naruto's heart that triumphed. Madara, overwhelmed by the sheer force of Naruto's determination, was defeated, his plans for domination crumbling to dust. The world was saved, but at a great cost. The battlefield lay silent, a somber reminder of the price of peace. In the aftermath of the battle, as the world began to heal, Naruto found solace in the love of Ino Yamanaka. Ino, with her gentle spirit and unwavering support, had stood by Naruto through the darkest of times. Their love, born amidst the chaos of war, was a beacon of hope, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Their wedding was a celebration of peace, a union of two souls that had weathered the storm of conflict together. The village of Konoha, once shadowed by the specter of war, was alive with joy and laughter. Naruto, with the blades of chaos by his side, had not only saved the world, but also found a love that transcended the battles of the past. As Naruto and Ino stood together, hand in hand, they looked out at the horizon, a world of possibilities stretching out before them. They had fought for peace, for love, and for a future where the shadows of war would no longer darken the land. And in their love, the legacy of Naruto Uzumaki and the power of the Blades of Chaos would forever endure, a symbol of hope for generations to come. Time skip. In the years that followed, Naruto and Ino's union brought not just joy to their own hearts, but also served as a symbol of unity and resilience to the people of Konoha and beyond. Their marriage was more than a testament to their personal happiness, it was a beacon of hope for a world that had seen too much despair. Under Naruto's leadership, and with Ino's insight as a skilled mind reader and healer, they embarked on a journey to not only rebuild what was lost, but to forge new alliances, bridging gaps between nations and clans that had once seemed insurmountable. Naruto, now wielding the Blades of Chaos with a mastery that spoke of his unique blend of shinobi and godlike powers, became a figure of legend. Stories of his courage, combined with tales of his and Ino's love, spread far and wide, inspiring peace treaties and fostering a new era of cooperation among the hidden villages. The blades, once symbols of wrath and destruction, became known as the instruments of peace, a reminder that even the most fearsome weapons could be used to protect and nurture life. Ino, on her part, revolutionized the medical practices of the shinobi world. Drawing from her experiences on the battlefield and her deep empathy, she introduced techniques that not only healed the body, but also the mind, addressing the deep-seated traumas that many ninjas carried. Her efforts led to the establishment of a new medical division dedicated to mental health, ensuring that the scars of war would not linger in the shadows, poisoning future generations. Together, Naruto and Ino embarked on missions, not of war, but of diplomacy and healing. They traveled across lands, from the dunes of the sand to the waves of the mist, sharing their vision of a world united, a world where children could grow up without the specter of war hanging over their future. Their partnership, both in battle and in peace, became the cornerstone of the new world they were building. As the years passed, their family grew. Their children, embodying the best of both their parents, grew up in a world vastly different from the one Naruto and Ino had known as children. These new generations of shinobi were raised not on tales of endless conflict, but on stories of unity, courage, and love. They learned to wield their powers not for domination, but for the greater good, guided by the examples set by their parents and the heroes of the past. Naruto and Ino's legacy, however, was not without its challenges. Threats to the peace they had worked so hard to achieve did arise, from shadows of the past, and the ambitions of those who could not let go of old grudges. But each time, Naruto, Ino, and their allies rose to meet these challenges, their resolve strengthened by the knowledge that they were fighting for something greater than themselves. They fought for the future, for the promise of a world where the cycle of hatred could finally be broken. As elders, Naruto and Ino looked back on their journey with a sense of fulfillment. They had seen the world change in ways they could once only dream of. And as they walked through the village of Konoha, no longer as warriors but as guardians of peace, they knew that their story, a story of love, of sacrifice, and of the relentless pursuit of a better world, would live on, a guiding light for generations to come. Time skip. As the era of peace under Naruto and Ino's stewardship flourished, a shadow loomed on the horizon, an ancient threat that had lingered in the annals of shinobi lore, whispered in hushed tones by those who knew the history of the world's creation. The Otsutsuki clan. The celestial clan, from whom the chakra itself was said to have originated, had once again turned their gaze towards the earth, their intentions unknown, but their power undeniable. The Otsutsuki, with their godlike abilities and insatiable hunger for the chakra of worlds, represented a danger not just to Konoha, but to the entire shinobi world and beyond. Their impending arrival set into motion a series of events that would test the bonds of peace and unity that Naruto, Ino, and their allies had worked so hard to build. Naruto, ever vigilant, was the first to sense the stirrings of their approach, the disturbance in the natural flow of chakra across the world. With Ino by his side, he convened a council of the Five Kage, along with representatives from every major clan and village, sharing with them the grave news. The world they had known, the peace they had cultivated, was at risk of being shattered by the Otsutsuki's inscrutable designs. The response was immediate and unanimous. Old rivalries were set aside, as the shinobi world united in the face of this common threat. Naruto, leveraging his experience and the wisdom gained from his battles with Madara and his own encounters with Otsutsuki, proposed a plan. They would not wait passively for the Otsutsuki to strike, they would prepare, strengthen their defenses, and, if need be, take the battle to the invaders. Ino, with her unparalleled skills in communication and espionage, spearheaded the intelligence-gathering efforts. Her network of contacts, bolstered by her psychic abilities, became a crucial asset in understanding the Otsutsuki's movements and intentions. Meanwhile, Naruto began training a new generation of shinobi, imparting to them not just the techniques necessary to face such formidable foes, but also the importance of unity and teamwork. The preparation for the Otsutsuki's arrival was a testament to the growth and maturity of the shinobi world. Technologies were developed to counter the celestial beings' advanced abilities, strategies formulated to exploit their weaknesses, and alliances forged across dimensions with those who had faced the Otsutsuki before. When Otsutsuki finally arrived, they found a world unlike any they had encountered in their celestial wanderings. The shinobi were united, their defenses robust, and their resolve unbreakable. Epic battles ensued, with Naruto and Ino at the forefront, leading a coalition of the world's strongest warriors against the celestial invaders. The Blades of Chaos, once again wielded by Naruto, blazed through the battlefield, a symbol of the Earth's defiance against those who sought to devour it. The war against Otsutsuki was long and fraught with losses on both sides, but the unity of the shinobi world, the strength born of peace and love, proved to be the deciding factor. The Otsutsuki were pushed back, their plans thwarted, not just by the might of the shinobi, but by the indomitable spirit of a world that refused to be conquered. In the aftermath, as the shinobi world rebuilt, the victory against Otsutsuki was celebrated not as the triumph of one nation over another, but as the success of a united world standing together against a common foe. Naruto and Ino, their legacy now encompassing not just the peace they had brought to their world, but the defense of it against the greatest of threats, looked to the future, knowing that as long as they stood together, there was no challenge they could not face. Time skip. In the quiet aftermath of the Otsutsuki invasion, the world had barely begun to heal its wounds and rebuild from the devastation, when whispers of a new, darker threat started to surface. This time, it wasn't an external force like the celestial Tsutsuki clan, but a malevolence that had been festering in the shadows of their own world, biding its time, drawing strength from the chaos and destruction that had preceded it. This new evil was not just a single entity or a rogue ninja seeking power, but a syndicate composed of some of the most nefarious individuals who had ever lived. They were remnants of fallen organizations like Akatsuki, rogue ninjas from the darkest corners of all nations, and even disgruntled descendants of the Otsutsuki, united under a banner of vengeance against the shinobi world and its symbols of peace. Naruto and the alliance he had forged. Naruto, who had thought perhaps there would be a time for rest, found himself once again at the heart of a storm brewing over the horizon. However, this threat was different in its insidiousness, its ability to strike from the shadows, and its understanding of the very fabric of the shinobi world. It sought not just to conquer but to corrupt, to turn the strengths of the shinobi world, its bonds of friendship and loyalty, into weaknesses. As reports of mysterious attacks and disappearances began to increase, Naruto and Ino realized the gravity of the situation. This enemy did not want a direct confrontation. It aimed to dismantle the unity of the shinobi world piece by piece, exploiting fears and sowing discord. The response to this new challenge required not just strength of arms, but a fortification of the spirit. Naruto, with Ino's invaluable support, began to counteract this creeping darkness by reinforcing the ties between villages and clans, reminding them of the values that had seen them through the Otsutsuki invasion. They initiated a series of councils that brought together leaders and representatives from every corner of the world to share information, strategies, and, most importantly, to maintain the trust that had been their greatest weapon. Meanwhile, Ino spearheaded a covert operation to infiltrate the syndicate, using her psychic abilities to gather intelligence from the inside. Her efforts revealed the chilling extent of the enemy's plans. To unleash a weapon that could turn friend against friend, brother against brother, by amplifying the hidden fears and doubts within their hearts. The battle against this new evil was unlike any other, fought not on battlefields with the clash of jutsu, but within the minds and hearts of every shinobi. Naruto, with the wisdom gained from his years of leadership, knew that the only way to combat this threat was to strengthen the bonds of trust and friendship that united them all, making it impossible for the enemy's psychological warfare to take root. The climax of this struggle came when Naruto and Ino, leading a task force of the best shinobi from across the world, launched a daring raid on the syndicate stronghold. It was a battle that tested every ounce of their skill, resolve, and trust in each other. In the heart of darkness, they faced the syndicate's leader, a figure shrouded in mystery, whose hatred for the shinobi world had deep personal roots. In the confrontation that was as much a battle of wills as of strength, Naruto and Ino emerged victorious, but not without cost. The syndicate was dismantled, its plans thwarted, but the shadows it cast would linger, a reminder of the fragility of peace and the price of freedom. In the aftermath, as the world once again began the process of healing, Naruto and Ino's leadership was celebrated not just for their strength, but for their unwavering belief in the shinobi world's capacity for goodness, unity, and resilience. They had faced the darkness, both within and without, and emerged stronger, their legacy a beacon for future generations to follow, a testament to the enduring power of hope, love, and the unbreakable bonds of friendship. Time skip. In a narrative twist that darkened the tapestry of our tale, the world was shaken to its core by an unimaginable tragedy. Amidst the relentless battles against the shadows that sought to engulf their world, a great evil, one that had lurked unseen, biding its time in the depths of malice and hatred, struck a blow that would forever alter the course of destiny. Ino Yamanaka, who had stood as a pillar of light and strength beside Naruto, her wisdom and compassion as boundless as her courage, fell in battle. The details of the encounter were shrouded in sorrow and rage, but it was known that she sacrificed herself to save a village full of innocents, facing the great evil alone when it descended upon them. Her bravery was such that legends would say the very heavens wept at her passing, and the earth mourned its loss. Naruto, whose heart had been intertwined with Ino's in a bond forged through years of struggle, love, and shared dreams, was devastated beyond measure. The pain of her loss was a tempest that threatened to consume him, to drown the world in a grief so profound that even the whisper of hope seemed a cruel mirage. Yet, within this abyss of despair, the ember of her spirit, her unyielding determination to see a world bathed in peace, flickered within him, refusing to be extinguished. The world stood still in the wake of this tragedy, a testament to Ino's impact on the lives of all she had touched. Her legacy was not just in the monumental victories in battle, but in the hearts she had healed, the minds she had freed from darkness, and the unity she had helped foster across lands once divided. Her loss was a wound on the soul of the shinobi world, a stark reminder of the costs of war and the price of peace. Driven by a maelstrom of sorrow and an unquenchable thirst for justice, Naruto became the avatar of a world's mourning and rage. He pursued the great evil with a relentless determination, his every step, every breath, dedicated to Ino's memory. His journey was a solitary one, where each battle was a tribute to her, each victory a step towards fulfilling their shared dream of a world at peace. The confrontation with this great evil, when it came, was as catastrophic as it was cathartic. Naruto, wielding not just the power of the Blades of Chaos but the strength of every heart Ino had touched, faced the darkness with the full might of his grief and love. The battle was apocalyptic, a maelstrom of chakra and fury that shook the very foundations of the world. In the end, when the dust settled and silence reclaimed the battlefield, Naruto stood victorious, but the victory was as hollow as the void Ino's absence had left in his heart. The great evil was vanquished, but the cost was a price that weighed heavily on his soul. In the aftermath, Naruto dedicated himself to realizing Ino's vision for the world, a world where the light of peace would forever outshine the shadows of war. He rebuilt, he healed, and he led, not just as a warrior or a hero, but as a man who had known the deepest loss, and yet chose to believe in the future. The legacy of Ino Yamanaka lived on, not just in the memories of those who loved her, but in the very fabric of the world she had fought to protect. Her dream of peace became the guiding light for generations to come, a promise that in the face of the greatest darkness, the strength of the human spirit would prevail, fueled by the enduring power of love and unity. And Naruto, with the Blades of Chaos at his side, walked this path not just as the seventh Hokage, but as a symbol of the indomitable will to forge ahead, carrying within him the spirit of all those who had sacrificed for the dream of a better tomorrow. In the quiet moments, when the weight of his journey pressed close, he would look to the stars, whispering words of love and farewell to the woman who had changed the world, who had changed him, forever. Time skip. In the wake of tragedies and victories, a silence fell upon the world, a calm before a storm that none could have foreseen. From the depths of space and time, an entity of unimaginable power, an evil god older than the cosmos itself, descended upon the shinobi world. This being, whose name was lost to the ages, sought not conquest, not subjugation, but annihilation for reasons unfathomable to mortal minds. The arrival of this deity was heralded by the sky itself tearing asunder, the fabric of reality bending in anguish. With power that dwarfed even that of Utsutsuki, this god brought forth destruction without precedent. Villages, nations, and entire landscapes were erased in the blink of an eye, their existence snuffed out as if they were mere candles in a tempest. Naruto, who had endured loss and pain, who had fought against gods and men for the sake of peace, stood once again at the forefront of despair. With every ally, every friend, every soul he had ever known and loved turned to dust, he was the sole witness to the end of his world. The Blades of Chaos, for all their fury and might, could not stem the tide of obliteration that washed over everything he held dear. The evil god, in its unfathomable might, saw in Naruto an anomaly, a singular thread of existence that, for reasons unknown, it chose to spare. Perhaps it was out of a sense of cosmic irony, or perhaps, in the vastness of its consciousness, there was a flicker of curiosity towards this lone survivor's resilience and pain. Naruto, the only survivor in a world now devoid of life, faced a god, his heart a well of sorrow and rage, yet unbroken. The confrontation between them was not one of battle, for there was no fight to be had against such omnipotence, but one of spirit. Naruto, with nothing left to lose, challenged the god not with the intent to defeat it, but to defy it, to prove that even in the face of ultimate despair, the will to continue, the flame of life and hope, would never be extinguished. The god, in its inscrutable wisdom, listened. It spoke not in words but in visions, showing Naruto the infinite expanse of the universe, the countless worlds that had been and would be, the endless cycle of creation and destruction. It was a perspective beyond comprehension, a glimpse into the true nature of existence that was both awe-inspiring and utterly devastating. And then, as suddenly as it had arrived, the god departed, leaving behind a silence deeper than before. Naruto, alone in the remnants of his world, was left with a burden greater than any he had ever borne. He was a keeper of memories, a guardian of the legacy of an entire world that had vanished as if it had never been. In the aftermath, Naruto found himself in a reality that was both familiar and utterly alien. The god's departure had not returned what was lost, but it had left the world itself changed, suffused with a strange energy that hinted at new beginnings. With the Blades of Chaos at his side, Naruto embarked on a journey not of revenge, but of rebirth. He sought to use the god's gift, the raw fabric of creation that lingered in the wake of its passing, to rebuild, to give form to a new world from the ashes of the old. This task was monumental, a challenge that would have daunted any other. But Naruto, driven by the memories of those he had lost, by the love and dreams of a world that had once been, began the work of creation. With each step, each act of will, life returned to the void, not as it had been, but as something new, something that carried within it the echoes of all that had been lost. Naruto, the last shinobi, became the first of a new world, a symbol of enduring hope and the indomitable will to persevere. His legacy was no longer just one of battles fought and loves lost, but of the resilience to face the greatest of despairs, and to find, within oneself, the power to begin again. And in the silent communion with the stars, in the quiet moments of creation, he whispered stories of a world gone by, a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity, ensuring that even in a new beginning, the past would never be forgotten. Time skip. In the desolation left by the departure of the evil god, Naruto, the sole survivor and guardian of a world's legacy, embarked on a journey unlike any before. Amidst the ruins of his once vibrant world, he discovered something ancient, a hidden vestige of power left by the old gods, entities whose presence had long faded from memory, their stories turned into myth. This power, resonant with the very essence of creation and the natural forces that predated even the Otsutsuki, was waiting for someone worthy, someone with the strength of will and purity of heart to wield it. Naruto, driven by a resolve forged in the deepest wells of loss and determination, was that someone. As he came into contact with this ancient force, it fused with his being, transforming him, elevating him from the realm of mortals to stand as a godly entity. With his newfound godlike powers, Naruto was not just the architect of a new world, but a protector on a cosmic scale. His abilities transcended the physical, allowing him to perceive the threads of fate and the flow of time in ways he never imagined. Yet, his heart remained anchored to the memories of those he loved and lost, and his mission was clear. To hunt down the evil god that had wrought such devastation upon his world. Armed with the power of the old gods and the indomitable spirit that had always defined him, Naruto set out across the universe. His journey was a solitary one, spanning the vast and often strange cosmos, where he encountered worlds and beings beyond human comprehension. Each encounter, each challenge, served only to strengthen his resolve and sharpen his powers. The universe was a tapestry of infinite complexity, filled with entities and gods, some benevolent, others indifferent or malevolent. Naruto, with his unique blend of shinobi skills and divine powers, navigated this cosmic landscape, his legend growing with each passing moment. He became known not just as a hunter of the evil god, but as a guardian of life, a champion of the oppressed, and a beacon of hope in the darkness. His quest led him through realms of shadow and light, through time-worn galaxies and newborn stars, always following the trail of chaos left by the evil god. Along the way, he forged alliances with other godly beings, some of whom had also suffered at the hands of the malevolent deity. Together, they formed a coalition, united in their purpose to protect the universe and its myriad forms of life. The confrontation with the evil god, when it finally came, was a battle of epic proportions, a clash of divine powers that shook the very foundations of the universe. Naruto, leading the charge, was a force of nature, his blades and godly powers a testament to his journey and the strength he had amassed. The battle raged across dimensions, a testament to the will of those fighting to preserve life and light in the universe. In the end, it was Naruto's humanity, his ability to believe in the possibility of redemption and change, that turned the tide. He understood, in a moment of transcendent clarity, that true victory lay not in destruction but in healing, in turning an enemy into an ally. With a power born of compassion and strength, he reached out to the evil god, offering a chance for atonement and a new path forward. The aftermath of the battle was a time of healing and rebuilding. The evil god, transformed by Naruto's act of forgiveness, joined the coalition, contributing to the protection and growth of the universe. Naruto, now a figure of myth and legend, continued his journey, always exploring, always protecting, his spirit forever tied to the memory of his lost world and the hope of a brighter future. His legacy was a beacon across the cosmos, a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, a single light, fueled by love and determination, could change the universe. Naruto, the shinobi who became a god, lived on as a symbol of hope, an eternal guardian of life in the vast, unending cosmos. Time skip. As the dust settled on the battlefield, the once malevolent god, now standing before Naruto as neither enemy nor ally, began to unravel the truth behind his devastating actions. The revelation came as a shock, a perspective shift that forced Naruto to reconsider the very nature of their conflict. The god, with a tone that bore the weight of eons, explained that his destruction of Naruto's world was not born of malice or a desire for chaos, but as a drastic measure against a greater evil, one that threatened the very fabric of the universe itself. This greater evil, the god revealed, was an entity or force so destructive, so all-consuming, that entire civilizations, worlds, and dimensions had fallen in its wake. It was an ancient darkness, one that predated even the oldest of gods, lurking in the void between realities, growing stronger with each cycle of destruction and rebirth. The god had witnessed firsthand the aftermath of this entity's wrath, and had made the excruciating decision to act preemptively to prevent its arrival in their dimension. Naruto, grappling with the magnitude of this revelation, understood the heavy burden of choices made in the name of a greater good. The god's actions, though unfathomably harsh, were taken in desperation, a last resort to protect the cosmos from a fate far worse than the loss of a single world. The realization that his world had been sacrificed as a bulwark against this darkness was a bitter pill to swallow, yet it cast the god's actions in a new light, not as those of an enemy, but of a guardian willing to bear the scorn of many to protect the many more. This pivotal moment marked a new beginning, not just for Naruto, but for the universe itself. As the god shared this burden with Naruto, it became clear that their battle had been but a prelude to a far greater challenge that lay ahead.